all on his own. He goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow him because they know his voice. They will not follow a stranger, but they will run from him, because they do not know the voice of strangers. Jesus used this figure of speech with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. So again, Jesus said to them, "Very truly, I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and bandits, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved, and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." And this is the gospel of the Lord. Pardon the croaky voice, it's that croaky morning again. The Maris fathers are responsible for an albergue in the Spanish town of Saragan. It's on the Camino to Santiago de Compostela. For those who have not had the good fortune to go on pilgrimage, an albergue is the cheap but adequate accommodation available for the pilgrim. Sleeping arrangements are somewhat difficult, are in large dormitories, some with 3-story beds, and it's all in, men and women. Simple, and the food is just adequate. However, the countryside is beautiful. Sunflowers turn in the sun, vineyards and fields of green abound, with the roads mostly unsealed. The cows and the horses are friendly, and my favourite, the donkeys, are delightful, especially if you can offer them an apple, which they devour in one bite. You've got to be careful, your hand is not included. Early in the morning, as was my practice, one day as the sun rose, I set out. Soon I came across 2 men with staffs in their hands, walking on the track below the road, talking and smoking, as they often do, and being followed by a small flock of sheep, perhaps 50. Not far ahead, one chap turned off the track, whistled, and headed into a field. About 20 or more of the sheep separated from the group and followed him. The other chap kept going with the rest of the flock, following him. Something that Jesus saw daily, which prompted today's parable. It was today, for me, it was like watching a reenactment of that parable. So Jesus presents 2 powerful metaphors. He is the shepherd who calls us by name, and the gate through which we find both safety and freedom, both of which speak powerfully to us all today. The shepherd doesn't just manage a crowd or manipulate it, he calls his own sheep by name. In an era of digital handles, algorithms, mass data, AI, memes, fake news, we are often treated as mere numbers or users. How many users do you have that are using you? PIN numbers, again, so many. I forget most of them and then suffer the consequences. Recently, I ran out of data. I was stranded. My server refused to help me reconnect unless I went in and rewrote everything, including adding another email address, which I refused to do. So the gospel reminds us that in God's eyes, each one of us has a face and a name known to God. No need for data, only our attention. Our modern thieves and robbers aren't just the literal bandits like the sheep robbers in the parable. They are the voices, social media, trends, Facebook perhaps, political divisiveness, or consumerist ads that try to climb over the wall and disturb our peace. The sheep follow the shepherd because they know his voice. The challenge today is learning to distinguish that one friendly presence from the cacophony of competing voices around us. Jesus calls himself the gate or door for two reasons. Because one is protection. The gate keeps out what seeks to destroy our spirit. Despair, worthlessness, isolation, loneliness, guilt. And freedom, crucially, the gate is also for going out, not keeping us in. Faith isn't meant to be a prison or a sheep pen of restrictions. It is the threshold to find pasture, to exit through the gate, to find the courage to live authentically in the world today. In a world of great need, in a wounded world, in a field hospital, as Pope Francis called it. And a slight change, but linked. Pope Leo XIV, like all popes, is referred to as the shepherd of Christ's church, his people, his earthly representative, with the same responsibility that Christ had. And so we listen with gratitude and respect to what he says. Recently, he has exercised this responsibility by directly addressing the tension between the non-violent message of Jesus and the actions of modern political leaders who use force while claiming to follow Christ. History is a wonderful teacher. So, Leo XIV, like all popes, is referred to, as I mentioned, the shepherd of Christ. And in that context, and history being a wonderful teacher, it was not by chance that Leo chose that name. Among the 13 Leos that preceded him, he's the 14th, recall, two stand out. Leo I, also known as Leo the Great. He lived in he was the Pope between the years 440 and 461. During that time, a man by the name of Attila, also known as Attila the Hun, and his bandits were terrorizing and conquering large areas of northern Europe. The Roman emperor, concerned when Attila arrived at the gates of Rome, asked Leo, the Pope, to go as his emissary and negotiate a peaceful solution. The Pope set an historical precedent for this by confronting physical threats with moral authority rather than military might. A peaceful solution was achieved, Rome was saved, and Attila and his horde went home. Sound familiar? Would it work today? The second Pope is Pope Leo XIII, famous for his 88 encyclicals, of which 2 are well known to the Pope. Rerum Novarum, focused on labour rights, social justice, and moral duties of capital and labour. First time the Pope had spoken on these issues due to the development of the Industrial Revolution. And then the second one, Immortale Dei, the immortal God, discussed the relationship between the church and state, emphasizing the spiritual authority of the church in guiding moral and civil life. And now we come to Leo XIV, directly addressed the tension between the non-violent message of Jesus and the actions of modern political leaders to use force while claiming to follow Christ. Like his predecessors, Leo XIV has insisted that the world must reject the paradigm of war entirely. He argues that war is always defeat. Look what happened in the First World War, the Second World War. And that nothing is lost with peace, but everything can be lost in war. He also criticism of leaders. He specifically addressed political figures, including references to the President of the United States and its actions in the Middle East, who present military force as God's work. Leo XIV countered this by stating that God does not listen to the prayers of those who wage war. And finally, Jesus as the King of Peace. In his Palm Sunday homily, the Pope contrasted Jesus' entry into Jerusalem on a donkey with the roar of weapons. He entered gently, without fanfare, but welcomed by the people. He emphasized, the Pope, that Jesus did not arm himself or fight, but revealed the gentle face of God that rejects violence. His appeal to non-violence, he has called for witnesses of a non-violent lifestyle to challenge the global resignation to violence, urging that non-violence must distinguish the action of believers, you and me. And now I think we omit the prayers of the faithful and recall yesterday with the Ode and Reveille, with Mel Trumpet.
Would you all stand for the Ode to Remembrance? They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. And nor these can be. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Toby. Please be seated. Wonderful moments of prayer and reflection remind us of those who died for us.